That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very, very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very, very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very, very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So, welcome to the show, guys and girls. How you all doing? Friday here in Sydney. Manny from the Guitar Show, deciding to have a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a stream. I've got some maintenance work to do on one of our old favourites, the old cake, the caramel cake, the Telecaster. We've got some work to do on that girl. You may remember the camphor laurel cake. We've got to do some refinishing on the sides. It's gone a little bit faded for some reason, so I dare say we're going to give that a little refinish. And I've just repolished the frets as well and made sure that they're nice and clean and shiny and level and straight and flat and all those good things. This is a cedar neck. It's got a spotted gum fretboard with cedar dots in it and jumbo frets. So we've got that guy all lined up and ready to go. What I need to do, though, of course, is get that body all sanded up and finished, and then we can put some stuff on it and get it all together again. Okay, who we got? Mav's in the house. How you doing, Mav? Willie, good to see you as well. You two guys. Nifty's here as well. Good to see you guys. Welcome on in. Spotted gum fretboards out there in the world. Nice one, Manny. Yeah, it's pretty rare. I found a nice spotted gum piece. You can see that. You can see the curly grain in that girl. Pretty good though. I like that fret job. I went over it yesterday and got those frets redone and just tightened up a little bit. It has been used a little bit. It's been demonstrated at a couple of expos, so it needed a little bit of a refinish. So I'm going to do that and then hang it up in the upcoming expo at the markets. And I'm going to put a for sale sign on it. But first things first, we need to make sure that this guy is clean and make sure that we sand that guy. So I'm going to flip over the bench and we're going to get started. Let me enable this camera, wherever the heck that is. I can't see. Bench cam, deactivate, activate. Okay. Let me grab that. Back in a sec. Alrighty, so we've got this guy set up here. We're going to, I'll just show you where we're up to with the acoustic. The acoustic is right here. And that girl is pretty much ready to get that top on. We've notched out, we've got the bracing on it. We've notched out where we need to have gaps for the bracing. That sits in there like so. And we can clamp that girl up, box her in, and get her pretty much glued down. Next week I'll probably be putting that box together and finishing her, or getting close to putting the neck in there. But for now, we're going to do a little bit of work on this guy here. I'm going to snip these old strings. We're going to restring that girl up. Let me grab some cutters. Here we go. Who else have we got here? Rage is here. What's going on, Rage? No, Lords, you didn't lose any vids. You're all good. You may remember this one, Rage, from a while back. She's had a couple of demos. I need to just tidy up this body a little bit, give it another light sanding, another coat around the edges. And we've just redressed the frets and given that, these frets are looking really good now. Just redressed those guys, got it nice and ready to rock and roll, re-leveled, remarked the nut, reseated the nut, got it all marked out. We're going to check the string heights, etc., what have you, when the time comes. Not yet, we've got to get this body done. Tuck those strings away, pull these other guys out. Just push those strings through. I'm going to keep these little ball ends because I'm going to use them as fret markers on certain guitars. They're a nice little colourful, they're different colours, and I can use them for fret markers. If I ever make a Lego style or a Rubik's Cube style guitar, no, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Would I do something like that? Would I? Have I been known to do stuff like that? No, I don't think so. In the bin. There, go on. Let's pull these last two screws out. Marky Mark in the house. What's going on? Terry's here as well. Hello, Terry. Good to see you. Your mum's dead. What's happening, brother? Good to see you as well. Badoing, that's right. Badoing. We spring into action. Really? That's what we do. We spring into action. I'm going to pop these little I'm going to take some hardware off this guy. Just going to do the edges mainly. There's a little bit of roughness to that. It has been used a little bit. The top and the back look really good, but the edges are a little bit on the rusty side. I'm going to give them a light scuff and a little bit of another coat of oil on there. Yeah, they've copped a bit of a hammering, but that's okay. I'm going to tidy that up a little bit. It's a demo model and we're going to sell it as such, but I need to make sure that it's as best as it can look. So we will do that cleaning up. Sounds fantastic. This has got Mr. Glenn's Cruel Mistress in it as well. It's a bloody good guitar. That guy makes some good pickups. I mean, you know, you don't really know pickups until you hear them. And once you hear something you like, though, I mean, it's like, yeah, and it's not a one-off. I mean, every set of Mr. Glenn's pickups that I've put in have all been never ceased to disappoint, or sorry, never disappointed, never ceased to amaze. They sound pretty good. Willie's got some in hers. I bet Willie likes the sound of her little Scylla. Willie, do you like Scylla, the way she growls when she gets all angry? And she plays nice and clean when she wants to, when she's all passive and quiet and calm. Much like you, Willie. Ha! It's naturally pretty. Yeah, look, it's not a bad, it's a nice, it's a beautiful block of wood. I'm just going to loosen this guy off just to get under there with the paper and get some oil under there as well. I'm not going to pull the wiring out. I'm just going to take the plate off. Just give it a little bit more room. Those little screws in there. Just going to push that guy in there and just tape that up a little bit. Put a little bit of tape in there. Just to protect that stuff in there. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to touch these guys. I will tape over some of this, get some of that, keep some of that dust off these guys. I don't want any dust sort of fouling up the pickups. Let's just let me strap those up. We're not touching the front or the back, we're just doing the sides. I'm going to take these guys up too. I'm going to foul up these switches and what have you. Just mask up a couple of little components. I
don't want to take those off. We're just going to mask them up. I don't expect too much damage. I'm just going to use some fine paper and just lightly scuff the edges, get another coat of oil on there, and then we'll finish her off tomorrow. Okay, she's pretty good to go. The back is fine. We don't need to touch that. What I do need to do is scuff this, guys. I'm going to get some 250 and just give that a very light rub back. There's a couple of big marks I don't like, and I want to scuff them clean. 240 is a good place to start. I've got a little sponge block there. I'm just mainly using my feel here. Most of the stuff coming off is just oil or is just a coating. I don't want to go down the wood, I just want to smooth it over. There's just a couple of light surface scuffs and marks that I want to get rid of. And just feel that. I can smell that camphor laurel already. It's like I've lit up a scented candle in here. Just tidying up. We'll hit that with a 400 after this round. And take some of those scratches off, and then we'll give it a coat of oil around the edges just to clean that up. It's a bit rough around the edges there. I've never messed around with special tuning, but I think the growl would intensify, which I love. Yes, indeed, Willie.
Scylla is moody. I like it.
Just the way I like Scylla to be. A moody little so-and-so. Pretty good. This side's a little bit bumpy here. Little scratch here. Okay, cool. Get a clean piece of paper. Not too bad. It's a little bit better. Need a bit more work up on the top here. Let me grab a fresh piece of papier.
Briggsy, what's going on? You can see you coming in. Van Whalen is lurking from his tree. Let's see if I can hit the. Let's see if I can hit the cowbell.
Got it. Better. It's better. Nice and smooth. cleaning all that up. Okay, feels smooth. Feels pretty good. I'm just going to hit it with a 400 now. 400! And then give it a nice bath, and then give it a... I've got a big gouge here. Someone scratched it right here. I might just fill that, or just leave it. I might try and sand that out with a bit of high grit, or low grit, I should say. This is 40 grit, or 80 grit actually. It's 80. I'm going to cut a little tab here. Let me just cut a little tab, as they say. And what I want to do is clean up this little gouge, this little scratch. I'll just flatten that out a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of the side away, down to the wood, but that's okay. That's taken it away. That's good. That's gone. Beautiful. It wasn't too deep. Just a couple other little scratches. Like so. Let's clean that right up. Got 3 chips out of there, 3 big marks out of there, which is good. It's over. Just hit that with a 240 again, take those big scratches out. And that oil will sit in there nicely anyway and cover those up. But, I'm going to hit the 400 on there now. A couple of little marks just here. The beauty of using little pieces like this. This is an old piece of belt from a belt sander, and it's quite high, quite coarse grit, but the fact that it's got that material, that really tough material backing, makes it really good to use as in little pieces like this and get into tight sections where you need to really work it over to get big chunks and scratches out by making bigger scratches and then flattening them out. We're doing okay though. There's a big chunk here. Little chip. Just going to round that over. Like that, and that's gone as well. So that's cleaned that right up. That's cleaned that right up. So that's really good. Okay, let me just catch up with the chat while we're here.
How are we all doing? Are we all good? Are we having a great week? I hope so. Who else have we got? Orbie's in the house. Orbie, what's going on, brother? Cedar Neck. My friend Greg. Cedar Neck. Refretted that guy yesterday. Nice jumbos. It's got a bone nut, and it's got a, what was that fretboard again? Spotted gum. spotted gum fretboard. And it's got cedar dots in there. We did this one a while ago, but it's been demoed, it's been used, and I just thought I'd clean it up and push it along as a demo. Needed to clean up the body a little bit. There's a couple little chunks and chips and scratches, so just giving that, just on the edges, just giving that a light sand, and we're going to give that another coat of oil just on the edges. That's the old camphor laurel back, one-piece body, solid, and the camphor laurel front. That's all good. There's no marks or anything on there. We need to just get these edges done. So I'm going to hit that up, hit that with 240. I'm going to get some 400 over it, and then I'm going to apply some oils. Lovely. It's a good evening. Friday evening is the best day of the week for me. I love it. It's Friday evening right here. It's Friday afternoon right here. So it's Friday Eve there, which is Thursday, I guess, for you. And I love Fridays because it means once that whistle blows and I clock off, it's like, thank you, Lord, I've got a whole weekend. Looking good. Yeah, it's looking okay, man. I'm just going to tidy up this body and get it. I actually lowered the action on this, so I took the neck off. The other frets weren't too bad. It's just that there was a gauge smaller, and we wanted to get jumbos on there, so we got jumbos on there, and we've given them a nice flat, really flat profile. So it's going to be a really low action, and we're recutting. We've remarked the nut, and I do need to come down a little bit extra on a couple of those strings, but to give it that new profile. But it's there's no relief there. It's pretty flat, as you can see there. It's pretty flat. They're all polished, and I've checked those, and they all check out okay. So I think we're good to go from the neck perspective. I just need to reseat that in there and set it all up again and adjust the heights and what have you to get a nice low action. Terry loves this guitar. Of course you do. Of course you do. Briggs, do an exclamation pretty. Exclamation pretty. Thank you for the bits. 11 bits. The magic 11. I love it. 11 was my jersey number when I used to play football. Now it's number 2. I don't know what. Let me grab some 400. Hello, hello. I've got it right here. Just going to give that a light scuff and get those 240 marks out of there. And then
We're going to apply a little bit of oil on that guy. We don't have to press hard, we just need to rub evenly and just get those scratches fined up a bit. Take those big scratches out. Of course, feeling it has a lot to do with it. Good, nice and smooth. Just feeling those edges as well. There's a couple of little rough spots right here. Just going to work those over. Just on the round overs, there's just a couple little chips and a little bit of fraying. A little bit of sandpaper fixes that up. It's mainly just the 4 coats of oil, and that's the beauty of this oil. It takes the brunt of it. It takes the brunt of the knock, and whilst the wood might feel like it's chipped, when you actually run the paper over and smooth those 3 or 4 layers right out, it's all gone. You can feel that, and the roughness is all gone, so the round over is still in good nick. And that's what I like about this oil. Once it hardens and cures, it's more protective than we give it credit for. It's quite good. It's Danish, so it's not as strong as, say, tung oil, but it is good enough. It does a pretty good job. Just making sure there's no cutting too much into the wood and leaving a rim of oil. Even though it's only 4 coats, it does build up some thickness there, and if you do wear through it, it does sharpen those edges or that join line. It does pop out a little bit, so we've got to make sure we're smooth transition. Let's get this back done. Looks worse than it feels. It's just dusty, that's all. I'm going to wipe this down with some spirits before I give it a coat. We'll need a couple of coats, but we'll do this over the next day or 2. The weather's really good at the moment in Sydney. There's not much rain around. It's a bit cool, but we're dry at least, which is something. There's a little bit of a rim. Almost there.
Red Panda, what is going on? Good to see you. I thought a pre-made deck and some chip pickups and a bridge to give it a try. What? Panda, do it and make yourself a telly. They're nice and easy. Look, simple shape, flat top, flat neck pocket, nothing complicated. Okay, that's what you want to do for your first guitar. You can do it. You can do it. Absolutely, you can do it. And you should do it. And if you want to drop in here on the chat, by all means, DM me and send me questions if you have. I'm glad to help. Glad to give you a little bit of a, point you in the right direction if you have any questions. And yeah, but absolutely. Just use the pre-made neck. If it is pre-made, the neck, use the neck heel to work out the width of your pocket. Don't just cut a standard pocket size in case the neck's a different size. Always do the neck and work off the neck's dimensions. You can always get another neck, but you can never cut another pocket. Once you cut the pocket, it's done. If it's smaller than you need and you can enlarge it, that's one thing. But if you take too much pocket away, you can't put it back. Little things like that. Just plan your build and you'll be fine. Whew. The grain is awesome, Briggs. This is a really nice grain. It's multi-layered, and it's the beauty of camphor laurel is it comes in so many different patterns. It's never consistent. You've got massive rings like this one. This is a big ring, huge ring style. There's also flamed and figured samples of this wood. Camphor laurel is like camphor wood as they call it elsewhere. Is obviously a noxious weed in Australia. We can cut it down by the ton if we want it. It grows anywhere. It's hardy as anything. But the beauty of it is it's the oil of it is like tea tree oil. It's antibacterial. That's where they make a lot of
chopping boards and serving boards out of camphor laurel. It's ideal for that because, you know, bacteria doesn't survive on it. It kills bacteria. So if you've got food on there, food grade, it's really good food grade quality to rest, you know, cheeses and meats and anything that could be high in bacterial, you know, properties. This kills that bacteria. It keeps it you know, at bay, as they say. Okay, that's pretty much done. I'm going to give that a wash down. I'm going to give that a little wash down, and then I'm going to give that a coat on the edges and see what that looks like. So let's wash that baby girl down. I'll grab some hank juice, Terry's favourite. Well, her favourite is the grits, I think, and the clamps. She's got lots of favourite things. Terry, what would be your favourite? Let's do a poll. What is Terry's favourite? Option 1, clamps. Option 2, grits. Option 3, mini pegs. Option 4, hank juice. Where's Dana? Is she here today? She's probably working. She's on shift. She's got a shift to put in. Look at that colour. She's a beauty, isn't she? It's lovely. Look at that. Nice. How's that? Beautiful layers. Look at the wave on that. It's gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. I love it. I love the way it looks like that. It's beautiful. Feels really smooth, so it's going to be a nice finish. All started. What's favourite? Terry's favourite. Let's have a look, Terry. What is your favourite? The poll will speak. I'm going to go across and vote myself because I think it's important that I vote as well. Here we go. I'm pretty sure I'm confident in what yours is. Oh, you know what we forgot? Doesn't matter. We can do it next time in the next poll. We forgot the nut slot gauges, or as I call it, the lotto numbers. But that's okay. We know which one she likes the best. It's running away. I think that's running. Hank juice. She's a little bit partial to hank juice as well, according to one voter. Well, aren't we all? Beautiful. Look at that. Pretty girl. She's a ripper. She's a beauty. We don't need to touch the front or the back. We just need to do the sides. I'm going to grab some gloves. Let me grab some gloves. We'll put this hank juice away. The clamps have it. Of course they have. Terry loves clamps. Terry, how many clamps do we need? Just ask her. If you're in doubt about what Terry likes, just say, how many clamps do we need, Terry? And she'll always come back with an answer. Always. With an answer. The right answer, I might add. There is a right answer. There is a wrong answer. She has the right answer. Let's see if I can hit the cowbell. Got it again. In the bin.
Alrighty. How many clamps do we need? All of them and then some. That's exactly right. Let's get the oil out. Let's give this guy a bit of a dressing down. I've got a clean cloth here. Trim that guy down. Get some gloves on. We'll finish this guy tomorrow, and then we'll probably string her up and reset the action on that in the next, over the weekend. I'm going to do a string Saturday and Sunday. I've got a game on Saturday, but it's at 3 p.m. So I've got time to do a big stream tomorrow, a couple of hours at least. Although I do want to see Gio's game, which is at 12:30. So I'll probably go from about 10 till 12:30 or so tomorrow. Eastern Standard Time, Australian Eastern Standard. Which is about this time now. Probably finishing about 45 minutes from now tomorrow. So if you can calculate that, whatever time it is there now, take another hour off it. That's when I'll probably start tomorrow. Hubby said to tell you he misses everyone. Absolutely, we miss him too. He's busy working and keeps getting out on because that equals more money along with his contract, and maybe next week if you guys are on, he will join. Absolutely, we will be on. It'd be good to see him again. Gio's doing well, Terry. He's doing well. He's booked his flights to Canada. He's off to Canada. He's going to trial for teams in Canada, so that's all affirmed and confirmed. His flight is in September, so he's got a few months left. He's got to finish the season here in August. Wraps up in August, and then he'll be packing his bags and going indefinitely. So I won't see my boy for a while. Yeah, Terry, he's going to come over to your part of the world, not Canada specifically, but to the Northern Hemisphere and North America in specific. He's got, he thinks he can make it there. We'll see how he goes. He's going to give it a red hot go, as we say here in Australia. A red hot go. Let's grab that oil and let's see what we can do with this guy. Oils ain't oil, Sol. Alright, we'll open that girl up. It's kind of a big place. Yeah, it is a big place. We're in Canada. He's going to not Saskatchewan, the other state. He's going to live out in the boons, out in the plains. Not Ontario. What's the state between Saskatchewan and Ontario? It's pretty much Arctic country, I hear. Quebec. No, not Quebec. No, it's not Quebec. Not the French crazy place. I don't know, maybe I got it wrong. It could be. I thought it was Saskatchewan, which is Manitoba. It could be Manitoba. I think it is. Anyway, he's going to trial probably in Toronto or in Ontario, and he's probably going to trial in Vancouver. We'll see. Once he's there, he can move around. He doesn't plan to be... I think his plan is not to be anchored or based anywhere. He's going to start somewhere, and within a month he should have a couple of gigs lined up to go and trial, and he'll just Airbnb wherever he needs to be for that week or so. So he's going to go over there, give it a go, and see what happens. Yeah, Vancouver's, British Columbia is beautiful. I've got a nephew that's been there for 5 years. He works in the ski fields there, and yeah, he loves it. He's been there for 5 years. I think he qualifies for residency now. It's a little bit easier for Australians because of the Commonwealth countries. Because we're both British Commonwealth countries, our passport gets us. He can get there without a visa straight away, and sort of, he's got 6 months, I think, to stay there, and until he has to declare his intentions. But it's pretty cool. Yeah. So it should be easy for him, I guess. And anyway, we'll see how he goes. Let's get some oil on this guy and see what she looks like. Give this guy a little stir. Swizzle stick.
This is what Terry does with her cocktails every evening. Gives them a little stir and then guzzles them down. Huh. And you never know, he might, Terry, he may even end up in the US if he gets a gig at a team in the major league, in the MLS, MLS 2 or 3 or whatever level he gets into. He's not really fussed as long as he plays at least semi-pro, which he can do. He's doing that here, so we'll see how he goes. I have every confidence that he'll make a team somewhere. Let's have a look at this baby pop up. Are we guys ready? Are you guys ready to see this? This is going to be something else. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Flip it over. It's almost like marble. It looks like a marble bench top. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a slab of marble. It's gorgeous. I love this wood. It's so super cool. Super cool. Okay, how am I going to do this now? This is the tricky part. I'm going to have to grab it like this and just twist it around like so. Prissy, you like it? She's a beauty, isn't she? She's an absolute beauty. It's only a plain little telly, but you know what? It's a beautiful piece of wood, and you just marvel at nature when you look at this girl here. You go, wow, look at that. Stunning. So cool. I've got to grab it somehow now without destroying it. Let me just flip that over like so. Get into here. There we go. I'm going to give that a little rub down, just down the sides there. It doesn't hurt. It's a satin finish, so it's going to enhance that a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that girl. It's lovely, isn't it? I love it. I love this guitar. It's cool. Super cool. Okay, we just got to do this horn here. How do I grab this guy? I think I'm going to have to balance it like a pizza box. Who ordered the pepperoni with the extra cheese? Exceptional. It is exceptional. It's pretty special, this grain. It's something else. I'm just going to get in here. Get this neck pocket sorted out. There we go. Lovely, isn't it? It's so good. So good. I'm going to rest that right here. Give that a little hit around the edges. Struck up a little bit of that already. Doesn't need it. Probably needs one more coat and then we're done. So I'm going to let that rest today. And I'm going to just work on slotting this nut down a little bit lower. Terry's going to get the lotto numbers out. I'm going to pop this down over here, where I've got another mat in the other room just to rest that guy. Oh, grab one of these mats, pop this guy. But I'll give you guys a good look before I do that. Let's flip cameras and give you guys a good look at that baby. Where is my cursor?
Here we go. So we've got those edges done. Lovely. Beautiful. Let's grab this girl. Okay. So that's cleaned her up nicely, as you can see. Cleaned her up nicely. I'm going to put her away. Let her have a little sleepy buys. Pop her down here for a minute. Go. And I'm going to now leave these gloves on. I'm going to put this oil away. We're going to get the lotto numbers out. We're going to... Leslie, what's going on? Get the nut slot files out and just tidy up that nut a little bit. I want to lower it slightly as well by filing some of that down. And then, of course, we won't be finalizing it until we get the strings on, but I wanted to realign the new frets with a new line. It's a little bit lower than it was, so let's give that a red hot schmazoo, as they say.
Do they say that? Do they really say that? I doubt it. That's not really what they say. Let's wash this guy up. I've got Terry's favourite box of tricks right here to polish up that nut after we finish. I'm just going to get all the dust off here. Okay, it's nice and clean.
They're the ones, Terry. Lotto. Oh, Briggsy, you know the lotto. Oh, you copied it from Terry. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I haven't got the truss rod access cut. It's hidden. I've got to do one as well. So that's one thing that I hadn't done, knowing I was going to get this guy back. So it hasn't gone anywhere. I'm going to cut an access cavity in there as well. But I'm going to get the nuts sorted out first, and then I'm going to do that last. It's a beautiful piece of cedar. What do you think of that neck? Rage, do you like that neck? And do you like the combination of woods? I think it's a really nice combination. It's sort of a maple equivalent. Looks a little bit like coloured like maple, but it's a little bit darker than maple, but it is a pretty board, and that neck is superb. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of cedar. It's quarter sawn. It's a beautiful quarter sawn length. Okay, and the black, that cosmic black hardware really looks good on it. Bronzes up nicely. Okie dokie. Swish cedar. It is swish. What is it? Oh, the fretboard. That is spotted gum. Spotted gum. I'll show you the grain. It's really wavy. It's a type of eucalyptus tree. Have a look at the grain. Look how wavy it is. It may remind you of a North American wood. Are there any trees in North America that have grain that waves like that? They're sort of ripply like water. It looks like a Monet painting. You know, he's always got those ripples. Either that or someone has removed their hairpiece and left it on the bedside table. Looks like, you know, a wig of some sort. It just wiggles. The lines wiggle all the way through. It looks like a bunch of horsehair all the way through there. It's a very interesting pattern. I'm trying to get a close-up so you can see that. Can you see that grain through there? You can see the waviness right through here. You can see that wavy grain. It's really interesting. Wavy grain, yeah. U's pretty similar, I'd say. We don't get any U here, but I think I get it. I've seen some online, and definitely that's probably the closest thing to it. But spotted gum is extremely hard. It's like ironwood. They use it for telegraph poles. So light poles and wiring poles and stuff like that, posts. They use that stuff. It lasts 50 years before it breaks down in the hot sun, in the rain, in all the elements. And it's termite proof, I guess, because it is that hardwood, so the termites don't like to chew on it too much. White birches look like. However, good luck finding any of them these days. Yeah, Briggsy, you're right. I haven't seen a birch tree I can't remember ever seeing one here in Australia. But Mario, what's going on? Zebra wood. Yeah, zebra wood's a little bit different. I think the colouring is different. I've got a zebra wood. I had a fretboard somewhere. If I put it away, but we will drag that out. It is very similar to zebra wood, a little bit more uniform in colour, but very similar. A bit curlier. It looks curlier than zebra wood, though. Wim, what is going on? You have no sound. We've got sound. I'm pretty sure we've got sound. Can you guys hear me? I think you should be able to hear me. Wim, Wim, Wim. Your little box of goodies left yesterday, so I think it's at the depot still. As soon as it leaves the depot, you should be getting a text. I'm getting text as well. So you'll have it in a couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days, I'd say, tops. There is the weekend. They generally ship between 4 and 7 days. You might have it in midway through next week, Wim. So, and I've got the timber strapped in there with it. Hopefully it gets through customs and they don't open it up to get rid of the timber. It's all wrapped up in bubble wrap properly, so it should be okay. Kaya. Switenya. That's a nice, sounds very South African. Switenya. Honduran, okay. Huh. Wim, I don't understand. Oh, you're at a bar. For fuck's sakes, why didn't you say so? You're at a bar. Well, good, man. That's where you need to be. At a bar. Somebody text him that his guitar has left. Yesterday afternoon, it was at the depot. I dropped it off. So it'll be couriered within 4 to 7 days. He'll get SMS text. Can someone please text him that? Oh, Briggs, you tell me what you want and I'll price something up for you, no problem. Absolutely. And I'll even do some custom artwork on there for you. Just tell me, write me some things that you really, really love. Except I'm not going to engrave your husband's face on it. But anything else that you really, really love. Hondo, sounds like a motorbike. Yep. Thank you very much, Leslie. You're awesome. Okay, what was I doing? We've got to cut the whole thing. I'm going to get this guy checked out. I'm just going to check the lines that I've marked for the height again. I'm going to grab my little height pencil and just double check those. And then we're going to get those little doobie whackers out and use the doobie whackers to level that out properly. Now, here it is. I did mark this yesterday, so I'm pretty confident that the line is in the right place. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. It's got to come down. Oh yeah, every one of those has to come down a little bit. You can see how I've lowered the nut. See the slots? Let me just try and get that angle right. The slots are just above that dark line. They're actually not that. There we go. That's probably a better look. About 1 millimeter away. You need to come down a little bit lower. And that's going to get that super duper low. And it's going to be a shredder. It's going to be an absolute shredder. Okay. That's cool, Rage. Cool. Look, whisper me your email address. Yep, no worries. We'll do. After this, I will do that. Wim, can you... actually, no, I won't. I'll ask you later. It's okay. Let's get our lotto numbers out because Terry's probably having kittens waiting for this to happen. Terry, have you had kittens? Or are you still being patient? All right, here they are. We're going to start off with a 10. Is it 10 first? What's the first one? 10 or 13? 10. 10. Okay, cool. Just going to take that down ever so slightly, a little bit, just a touch. Because of the nut is installed, I'm going to
handle that way because there's no room this way. Doesn't have to come down far. That's good. Next one. What's next? 13. Ha! You're texting Dana. She ain't missing much, tell her that. But we're missing her. This one's got to come down, oh man, ever so slowly, ever so slightly. Just a touch. That's pretty good. Yep. 17 is the G string, everybody's favorite. Nearly there. Pretty close. Don't want to overshoot it. Okay, that's there. 13, 24. 24 is next. 15, no. 24. Brixie, you're guessing. You need to go back to school and learn, do the math. You need to go back up the chat and read the lotto numbers. Do exclamation lotto. That'll tell you everything you need to know. This one's got a while to go. Okay, that's right. We're going to have to file this nut and repolish it. Terry, you're going to ready for polishing nuts again? We're going to polish using these things here. So we're going to read out the grid soon. What's next? 32. 32, thank you. Briggs is onto it as well. Right, that's good. And the lucky last is 42. 42. And we're pretty much there. Okay, now we need to file this guy with our files. We grab a fine file. Where's the fine file? This one here. And I'm just going to file this guy because I need to get the last three strings, particularly the G, particularly the E and the A. I need to get them lower because half the string's got to sit above the slot. We don't want the whole string buried in there because we get intonation problems. Bringing the height of that guy down. It's a good profile there, yep. All right. This guy's got to come down. nearly there. Should be pretty good. Okay, let's polish that up. Terry, what are we doing now? We're going to polish this guy up. We're going to hit it with 400 first, then 600, then 1500. There's the 400. We've got to get those file marks off there. Okay, next, 600. We're going below the standards that Terry's used to. The next one is the one she's going to get. 1500 is the first one that Terry wants, but we've got to get the 600 done first. No big scratches, all good. Okay, 1500. Terry. We're on the Terry bandwagon now. This guy here. Next. 1800. Nice. Next. 2400. Next. Baby Poo Brown. Is that what we're up to? Yes, that's Van Walen's favourite. After this, of course, what are we going to do, Terry? Your favourite thing? Drill a hole in the neck to get that truss rod cavity exposed. Everybody loves a little truss rod action. Starting to shine up now. Okay, what's after Baby Poo Brown? Red wine, favourites, Terry's favourite. Kermit the Frog. Who forgot about Kermit the Frog? Red wine. Hey, welcome to the Muppet Show. Yeah. One day you'll find me, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All right. making sure I buff up that wood there as well. Getting some grit out of there. Okay, what's after that, Terry? Where are we up to? 4,000 teal. Lisa, where is she? Is she still here? Or has she gone Betty Buys? Oh, it's shiny. Terry, it's nice and shiny. You'll be glad to know. As is this fret here. I'm doing the first fret as well because it just happens to rub next to it. So. Okay, that's looking good. Next! Woo! We got blue, purple, Dana, purple, purple haze. This guy, 6,000. Yeri. No problems, Yeri. Oh, it's nice and shiny. Looks like I bought one. Looks like a new one, Terry. Looking good. Okay. Next. Blue. 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 Manny's favourite colour. It is indeed one of my favourites. Used to be when I was a kid. I loved blue. I still do. Oh, look at that shine. As soon as you hit blue, you can pretty much stop, I reckon. Is that right, Terry? If we hit blue, do we stop? Watch her lose her kittens now. She's going to have kittens because I said that. Wow, that's like glass. As shiny as the frets, my God. Wait for it, wait for it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. 12K. Woohoo! That's pretty cool. Look at that. Can you see the shine on that girl? Maybe not. You get the lights reflecting on there. There we go. Let me try another angle. Probably see the shine like a diamond. Anyway, it's shiny. Believe me, trust me. It's shiny as. So we got that. We got to put a hole in there now. I hate this part. Terry, I hate this part. Okay, let's make some bench space. Let's get ourselves prepped. I, unlike popular belief, don't know my alcohol. I do like a cosmopolitan though. Yeri. They start calling a Yeri after a couple of Cosmos. That's what. Cosmopolitan, that would be a, is that Cointreau vodka and lime or something? 2 white spirits and lime, and they punch it into crushed ice at the bottom and lime leaves and stuff? I answer to most anything. I bet you do. From now on, you'll be known as Yentl. Okay. So we've got to get a hole in this guy here, right? We've got to drill a hole. So first things first, I've got to mark this guy out. Now this is going to be a bit scary. Why is it going to be scary? Because It is. For Terry, it's very scary. So the principle here is I'm going to grab myself a truss rod because I just want to double check the dimensions of the truss rod. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure it's just below the line of the fretboard, but I'm going to double check. Okay, it's actually a bit lower than that. Okay, it's right down there. Okay, so we've got at least below the fretboard about 4 millimeters below the fretboard. Okay, that's good. So if I mark that off, let's have a little bit of a guess. Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting. It's right down in here. It's right down in there. My goodness gracious me. It's right down there, Terry. Wow. I'm having kittens now. Let's measure the distance between the center hole of the hole, the center, and the top of this guy. Let's get that right. It should be about 4 millimeters if I'm correct. Let's have a look. 4.7. Okay. 4.7. It's probably about 5 mil. Just under a quarter inch. Okay, 5 mil is fine. Okay, that's cool. 5 millimeters it is below the fretboard. So that, to me, I'm going to eyeball that. 5 mil is about there. Now I need to make sure that I've got this centered. So let's grab our little ruler. Let's get a little pen. Let's mark it halfway. 46. 46. Let's go. Flares out a little bit, so I'm going to go. There we go, 44. 22. Exactly where it is. Right, we're good to go, Terry. Let's go. Grab the drill. Let's do this. Woohoo! Rock and roll. Rock and roll. We're going to start with a nice, narrow, skinny drill. I can't drill with the tuners in. You may be right. Let's have a look. Yes, that one, those three are in the way indeed. So let's get rid of those. Good pickup, Terry. Let's get our little spanners and let's take those tuners off. More cowbell. I'm going to take these three tuners out. Very well spotted, Terry. You are a legend in your own lunchbox. Alrighty then, flip her over, get rid of those three little screws. One. Two. Little anchor screws, they're out of there. 3. Pop these guys out. Now, can we screw that hole? Can we do that? Do we have to remove this one as well? I may have to remove this one as well. Let's have a little look. No, we're good there. We've got clearance. We've got clearance. Okay. So, the way we do this, you know what? I'm going to remove all the tuners just to get a nice flat bed. Let's remove all the tuners. Terry, is removing all the tuners a good idea? We'll take the tuners off. It'll just be better. It'll be safer. We'll get a nice flat seat. Let's remove all of these guys just to make sure. Now, no inhibitions, no blockade, nothing like that. We're in there, we're up against the wall. I'm going to drill a hole right through there and to heck with everything else. Let's do this. Terry, are you ready? I'm ready. I was born ready with this. This is the way to do it. Okay, first things first. I'm going to use a brad point just to get that guy marked in because it'll bite a little bit nicer. Just a little brad point in there. There we go. Okay. Once we get a bite, we can then drill that in. Move that along. It's going to get a different angle, just so I can hold that neck straighter. Grab the bigger drill and go right through. Done. Beautiful. Bang on. Bang on. Perfecto. Look at that. I can see the little guy. Oh, perfect. Just right. So we can see the truss rod right in there. Okay, we got that guy, and we can see the truss rod, and that's the little access hole in there. You can see the guy in there. Okay, just going to finish that off nicely and get that guy nice and centered. There we go. And I'll oil that up a little later on when I do the other coat on the guitar. I'll touch that up. So we've got our truss rod cavity, access cavity there. We're good to go. So that's done. Okay. Knees bent, shoulder square, and the ritual begins. Look, it's done. It's a matter of knowing where the little bugger is sitting and just drilling his little backside out. So it's all good. Got him out of there. That guy helps. I'm going to put those tuners back on now. This thing is pretty straight. We don't need any relief on it at the moment. I will string it up and see if it does need movement, and then we'll adjust that. But it should be okay because this wood's nice and stable. It's been lying around for a year. So we're good to go. Let's pop these tuners back in. Screw these guys in, back into position, and then we'll lock them in, and we're pretty much done. Oops. Did I just drop that guy? I'll find it. It's here somewhere. We'll get it. Throw those gloves away. Grab these little screw guys. Pop them in. Wunderbar. These tuners are all the same length. The shaft on them, sometimes the shaft is a little bit longer on some of them. The ones that are angled at the top to accommodate that scoop. But these are all pretty even. Two to go. And I've dropped the screw somewhere here on the table. I will find it. I will find it. Okay, let's have a look at where that guy has gone. Somewhere here. Here's the tuner. Flipped it and it went under here somewhere. It will be here somewhere. Find the stupid thing. Doesn't matter. I'll find that in time. Just checking out. Does it fall down here? Ah, here it is. It did fall down. Got it. It bounced off. Okay. Last tuner. Put that girl in there. Screw that one in. clamp from the bartender. Wim, how many drinks has Wim had? Can we have another poll, please, Terry? How many drinks has Wim had? The minimum is 3, and the maximum is who knows. But put 3 or 4 numbers in there and see what we come up with. I reckon he's had at least 3. And tighten that little girl first, and then get the key on there and give that a nice little twist till it's firm. You don't over tighten it. Let me grab the other key in case it's a bit better. I thought it was the small key that did the job, but it is the small key. A little bit tight. Don't grab it. That's good. Next, washer. Nut. How many drinks has Wim had? Let me have a look. I'm going to say, I'd say 4. No, he's only had 3. I reckon he's had 3. But he's on his 4th. Oh my, I love it. Four. Someone said 4. My goodness. He could be on his 4th. I don't think he's had him yet. 7. Leslie, what are you on about? You reckon he's had 7? You might be right. Hard to tell with Wim. Ah, Scheisen. Mm. Four. Oh, look, it's a 2-way, it's a 3-way tie. So he's had anything between 3 and greater than 4. Ha! Wim! You tell us, Wim, what's the actual answer? It must be greater than 4. Good for you. Nut job. Crazy guy? He's a crazy guy. Second last. Lucky last. Woohoo! Maybe that number was a little bit conservative, Terry. We should have gone a lot higher than 4. Oh my. Maybe the oh my is the outlet we were looking for. These are not the droids we were looking for. Gio is at his grandma's place at the moment. She's teaching him how to make lasagna. What a great thing to do with your grandma. Cook with your grandma. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, we're done. They're in. That guy's in. Sensational stuff. So there she is. All done. Everything seems to be lining up. Everything is sorted. We have got new frets. We've got a newly leveled nut. It's down at the level that we want it to be. We've got a body. Let me show you that. Which has dried. Almost dry. Touch dry. Let's have a look. Okay. We've got another coat to go on that guy there. We'll put another coat on that after it dries, but you can see it's starting to look really pretty. There she is. Okay. Nice satin finish on that girl. We'll put that together tomorrow, and Bob's your uncle. I'm going to give this another coat this afternoon after a couple of hours. Let it cure overnight. And then we're good to put it together tomorrow and string her up. So we're going to do that. Pretty, pretty! Let's put the over here. Matt Burrows is live. Okay. 2.5 hours. Oh my God. Wim, you're on about drink number 5, I'd say. I'm rating Matt Burrows for those that want to hang out. What happened there? There we go. It's been created. And I'll be back again tomorrow, guys and girls. Thank you very much for being here. Have a good night. Wim, have a drink on me. See you all tomorrow. Absolutely, Terry. Have a drink on me, my friend. And stay cool. Stay safe. Please look after yourselves. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, guys and girls, Manny from the Guitar Show signing off for another evening. I'll be back tomorrow. See you then.